Kelly, ever since you got off that airplane, all you've been doing is showing off. You've been buying these extravagant gifts, this 70-year-old bottle of wine. Hell, we don't even drink imported beer. I mean, it's pretty obvious that all you're trying to do is impress everybody. Well, I can't speak for them, but I got to tell you, it's not working for me.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Nothing I've ever done has impressed you.
What are you talking about?
I've been trying to impress you my whole life. I remember once sending you a painting I did of our house in Ohio.
I remember that. I loved it.
Why?
Because you made it.
But not because it was good.
It was very good for a 6-year-old.
I was 12. Then in college, I went into acting, thinking if I was up on stage, you'd have to notice me. Instead, I noticed you, sitting in the audience, staring at your watch. And then I met Stuart. I figured, okay, no more childish stuff. I'm going to do something adult. So I got married, and instead of being impressed, you thought it was the most stupid thing I'd ever done. So it was the stupidest thing I'd ever done. That's not the point. I come home to show you how successful I am, because that's how you measure things, isn't it? Wins and losses. And this is a big win. I got a big job, Dad, and I do it great. And I go and I spend my first 2 months' salary on presents for you guys, and nothing.
Wait a minute. I told you I loved the helmet.
Maybe if I was a boy, I could impress you.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Forget it.
Well, hey, if you got something to say to me, say it.
No, Dad, because you're just going to deny it. And I'm not going to believe you, so what's the point?
Try me.
If I was a boy, you never would have left Mom and me.
I'm not going to deny it. Kelly, I was in a bad marriage. And I figured as long as you were with your mother, you'd be okay.
Yeah, and I was right.
No, not if you think I would have loved you more if you were a boy, because that's not true. I would have stayed, but Kelly, I couldn't love you any more than I do. I couldn't be one bit more impressed by you.
What are you impressed by? Dad, if I was a stranger, wouldn't you have been just a little impressed by some of the things I was talking about here last night?
Are we being perfectly honest here?
Yeah.
I'd have thrown you out of my house.
Well, maybe I was trying a little too hard. But think about this. I've been in New York City for 2 months. I had no experience in the advertising business. And I have already gotten a promotion and landed a major account. I mean, isn't this what most fathers would dream of for their daughters?
Yeah. Most fathers. But you want to know what my dream for you really was?
What?
I dreamed that you would stay around here, that you'd fall in love with one of my star players, you'd get married, he'd become a coach, you'd be a coach's wife, you'd have a bunch of little coaches running around. We'd all live happily ever after.
Well, keep dreaming.
I know it's not going to happen. But you know, hey, people have ideal versions of what they'd like their families to be. What would your ideal father be like?
He'd be a lot like you. Only better.
Better? How?
Well, you'd still be who you are. You'd just be a little more sensitive to my feelings. And, a little more open to the things I like. And a little more generous with your praise.
Yeah, maybe I could improve a little. But I think I'm a lot closer to your dream than you are to mine. Kelly, I've always had this philosophy with my players. You never praise them too much, never let them get satisfied. Tell them that they're good, but they could always do better. And I gotta tell you, a lot of times it works.
Dad, I'm not one of your players.
Now, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to go to Minneapolis, and I'd like to go to that art shop, and I'd like to go to that restaurant you were talking about.
You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to sit on the couch, put my sweats on, and watch football all day long.
Yeah, great then. See you later.